Alright, to start off, let's just get straight to the point. If you want to just know that. If you starting off with a CCNA and you got no experience, but you got the lab experience like I talked about before, but you don't got no experience and you just coming straight from no IT background, you ain't work help desk nowhere, nothing. I say in your first year, you can make, I did just a basic Google search to try to find and get like some information about the highest paying salaries in America. And just doing some basic research, by far, the medical field is going to be the highest paying salary jobs that you're going to get in America. Then the next high paying jobs are going to be anything from engineering to like executive management. Most of these high paying jobs are going to require you to have some advanced degree, which like a PhD or whatever, which is going to just make it that much more difficult when you're competing with other job candidates that are going for these same high salary positions. However, what I found in IT through my time spending and my experience and everything is that your skills and your ability to execute are way more valuable than a degree or even a certification. Like employers, if they have these severe pain points and all these issues that they need to solve, and you can come in there, execute, and solve all them problems, they're gonna love that. They're gonna take you off rip, and you're gonna have a good career, a good time with them. All right, to start off, let's just get straight to the point. If you want to just know that. If you starting off with a CCNA and you got no experience, but you got the lab experience like I talked about before, but you don't got no experience and you just coming straight from no IT background, you ain't work help desk nowhere, nothing. I say in your first year, you can make anywhere ranging from 40 to 60K. And then I say about your second or third year, that's when you can make that 60 to 100K jump. Now, for me, it took me like 10 years to put this all together. So these jumps, when I'm saying 1 year and 2 to 3 years, it all depends on the person. It depends on everybody's circumstances and situations, right? People have kids, people don't have kids. I've seen it done where I've seen somebody that I trained, they came into the knock, they started with no, they was working at Office Depot. That was their prior IT experience. They came in not knowing nothing. I was already working, I think, like 5 years in the knock. They came in, passed me up, and was an engineer in like the next year or two because they was just that dedicated to the skill and to improving and everything, which opened my eyes. And no, they didn't have no CCNP certification. They just, once I broke it down to them and they understood it, what the job, what they needed to do, and all of this, they was like, man, this is way better than Office Depot. I'm gonna just study and everything. And I used to be like, yeah, I'm studying too. But again, I was taking that kind of like lackadaisical approach. I wasn't in it. I'm talking about this cat must have been, because before I know it, he talking about he's going to be an engineer. He got to be working from home and this and that. Because I was like, well, dang. And he used to always, all his tickets used to be on point and everything like that. So again, you can make these jumps to that six-figure salary if you're gonna be able to put in all the work. You can definitely get there. But again, just starting out, you're gonna get that 40 to 60K range. However, to get that 40 to 60K range is gonna require a lot of hard work. And what does that mean for somebody that's starting out? That means that besides the technical aspect, you're gonna have to learn that business. You're gonna have to have good soft skills. Can you communicate both verbally and written? You're going to have to provide some kind of extra value other than bringing that CCNA certification to the business. Because that, again, that just gets you in the door. That lets you be part of the team. But now, what are you doing as part of the team that when you go step to that person and you want that raise, what have you done? That's how the company is. Just as it's not personal, it's just business. They're going to look like if you ain't making no money for them, they not going to just be like, oh, yeah, let's just go ahead and give you some more money. But if you come in to them with like, hey, there's some processes here that were out of place. I organized them. I put some processes together. Or I noticed where there's a need for a process and I developed this one. And you went over with it and with a manager, and now you're starting to implement processes and everything. That's how you start adding value. You create your own little projects, doing things like trying to stay late after work to help an engineer on a project or something, or whatever work that you can take home with you and study. If it's like a network that you're struggling to learn and they allow you to like look at a diagram or something from home, or just on your downtime, you're learning the aspects of that business, whether it's the ticketing system, whether it's how they email. I worked in a knock where there was a system for how we were filtering emails. We had one person that was just an email person, and they would filter the emails based on if it was a priority email, or if it was a low priority email, if it was something that didn't even need to get, that was junk, that didn't need to get addressed, or just making sure that we were on top of every client's email, making sure that they're getting responses within the hour and not having to wait till the next day just because they emailed somebody. We were so on top of it with that team. So it's just things like that that you're going to have to put into place. What are you doing? You can't just show up and give them 8 hours and then be like, yeah, let me get that bag. It don't work like that. It's not going to work like that in IT, and I doubt like it's not going to work like that whether you work for a job or wherever you at in life. You're not just going to sit down and show up, and just because you showed up, they're going to give you that gold star. So finally, what I want to speak about is what you can do to kind of hurry up that process. As we all know, Cisco is revamping their testing every 3 years. That's because there's new technologies dropping and everything. Cloud, SD-WAN. They have to keep up with. They have to keep up with the market. They gotta do that. Everybody's got to do that. Net plus, everybody's got to. The technology, 3 to 5 years at the most. This stuff is changing. We all know that. That's the name of this game if you're in the tech game. So what you need to be able to do, if you're just chasing the bag, I say is that you need to be job hopping. And why I say that is because I stayed with a company for 7 years. It wasn't until I started moving around in companies, to where I said, hey, can you match this offer? Because this company, some people say, yeah, we can match it and you can stay. Or some people are like, no, you got to go. We can't match that. It's more importantly than just job hopping. You definitely need to have a good work-life balance, because even if you land this $200,000 a year job or whatever, if you land a high-paying job, if the work-life balance ain't there, it's going to make it that much more difficult for you to sustain that job and have the discipline to sustain that job and have the wisdom to multiply and expand and grow in that career or in that job that you're at. You want to have and be surrounded again by a community of like-minded people, a good culture. You don't want to go into work where you got cats that are hoarding information for job security because they think if they have all the troubleshooting steps to a certain issue that they're untouchable. You don't want to be in that kind of work environment. It's not good for morale. It's not good for your personal growth or development as well. So again, every 2 to 3 years, you need to be not only leveling up your skills and doing those things that you need to do, creating processes and everything for the company, you also need to be shopping yourself around in that marketplace and seeing where your value truly lies. These companies, they're in the business to make money for the CEO or for the business. They're not trying to make you get that bag. So that's why I stayed at a company for 7 years and they just hit me with these little nickel and dime incrementals. Now I'm grateful and everything because I did have a good culture, a good work-life balance, and I was able to pay my bills. But as you grow and get older, you get kids, you get family. That little nickel and dime in me incrementally, I can't do it. I need bigger jumps, and they can't just say, "Oh, we'll just throw you an extra 50K." They're gonna have to do it like, here's an extra 2 to 3K or something every year. And that's just going to take that much longer for you to reach that goal of 100K if you're trying to get a 6-figure salary. So if you jump around, I'm confident that you'll find something that's closer to where your goal is, rather than just sitting stagnant and just hoping that your employer says, "Oh, John Doe, we want to give you 100K because you're just you being you." Like, it don't work like that in the real world, or anything like that on planet Earth. As always, I appreciate each and every one of y'all ninjas for tapping in with your ninja. And I'm going to catch y'all on that next video. Make sure, if you do like this video and you want to share it and all that, please share it, comment, like it. And you already know, hit your boy with that sub if you're new to the channel, that notification bell so you can tune in to what I got cooking for next week.